and welcome back to Queen's Mindset. If this is your first time joining us, my name is Kanisha. Welcome. Today we're actually going to be talking about how not to take a no for an answer. Okay, so let's get right into it. Wait a minute, but before we go, if you have not as yet, remember to like, share, and subscribe. Welcome back. Okay, so let's get into it. So how not to take a no for an answer. When you're working towards something and it's a goal that you have, it's a vision that you have for yourself, you want to be in control of that vision or in control of that goal that you want for yourself. You don't want to allow persons to just come in and just sway you in terms of bringing in doubts, bringing in disbelief, negativity and things like that. No, I'll tell you just a brief story about me and when I was actually chasing one of my dreams, which was to actually study overseas. I had this dream about studying overseas and just experiencing the culture and being able to live on the dorm, because back home in Barbados we do have that for university, but obviously if you're from Barbados we don't have the facilities where Barbadians get to stay on campus in the dorms and so on, because we're so small. So it doesn't really make any sense because it's very near and everywhere in Barbados is very close, right? So it's not needed. So I wanted to be able to experience that, to see how that felt, to be able to live in the dorm and go to school and the full works. So when I was actually at university here in Barbados, I found out about a student exchange program that was excellent, because as soon as I found out about this student exchange program, I just wanted to dive right in. I got all the details and everything. I chased that because it was my dream. I had already wanted to do that. So what I did is I went after it with everything I have. I had a few hiccups along the way, and as I went through that, lots of people told me no. For example, I got told no from people that I trusted, people who I thought would have my back. They said no. Persons made comments. They said, it doesn't make any sense. Why would you want to go overseas and study when you can just study here? Why would you want to put yourself in such, financial situation, having to pay for it and everything? You don't have the money. And a lot of comments people said. And let me tell you how I did not allow those no's in terms of people who I would have shared my vision with, who said, no, it's not possible to get me down. Because what I did is that I relooked my vision. I relooked my goals. I relooked my dream. And I just kept on focusing on what I wanted and not focusing on the things that people were saying. So when I started, I needed to have 15,000 Canadian dollars to be able to travel, and I did not have that. So my next step is, how can I assess this? So I decided that I was going to find the funding, whether I either raise the funding, whether I apply for scholarships, whatever I had to do, I was doing it. Now when I applied for my scholarship, there was an error made in the application because it should have reflected for a full year, but it was actually submitted for a semester only, which meant that I still needed more money, and then there was no guarantee that I was actually going to get the scholarship that I applied for. So I still had to wait and see what was going to happen there. No, what I did was I didn't wait to find out if I was going to get through. I sent in the application and on to the next plan. It was not that I did not believe that I could. It's just that I was not the type of person to wait around and let's see what happens and that kind of stuff. Because when you have a dream, when you have a vision for yourself, you can't allow other persons who don't see your dream to begin to control your dream for you. You have to be able to be in control. You have to sit in the driver's seat where you determine what that outcome shall be for you. So how do you not take a no for an answer? When you're chasing something and everybody's saying to you, this thing cannot happen, it's not possible, it will not happen, you have to be sure to do everything within your power to make sure that it happens. The only way this can happen for you is once you believe that it can happen. Because if you don't believe that it can happen, then hey, it's never going to happen. But you're going to have odds against you, you're going to have obstacles in your path, but you have to be ready and willing to step over those things and keep going and going and going and going. So like I said, with me, having those challenges where there was an error in the application, then I had to raise the funds. I didn't get enough funds. When I reached out to organizations and I called them and I shared with them what I wanted, in terms of being able to raise the funds and so on. Many persons said no. Some people put down the phone in my ears. I called numerous places and nobody wanted to hear me. Everybody was like, oh, we don't got no money for that. We don't got no time for this, and things like that. There were persons that were very close to me, like I said, who talked down on me about my whole vision, my whole idea and concept of wanting to actually go overseas. They thought that I was not good enough to do it. They thought that it didn't make any sense. They thought that it would have been simply a waste of time. But I knew different. I knew that this was going to happen for me because I visualized it. I knew it before I even got into the university, because I know that this is something that I wanted. And when that dream had really ignited and sparked within me, it was actually the year before when I actually had attended a conference overseas, and I saw how the university students lived and everything. I was able to experience the culture a little bit I think I was there for like a weekend. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. I have to come back again, and not only just come back, but come back and actually stay and experience it fully for myself. And that's exactly what I did. So when people tell you no, it's not no, it's next opportunity. Okay? It's not no, it can't happen for you. Maybe it's not going to happen today, but it'll happen tomorrow. It will happen, but you have to be consistent, and you have to be persistent, and you have to chase that thing that you are going after with everything you've got, and don't allow anybody to come into your path, whether it's your mother, your father, your sister, your uncles, your cousins, whoever it is. You have to be ready to stand up and fight for your dreams. You have to believe in your dreams, and you have to defend your dream. You have to defend your dream with everything you have. And defending your dream does not mean that you have to literally fight with persons, but you don't have to prove any points to anyone. You don't have to assure them or reassure them of anything. All you need to do is to know that this thing is going to happen. So when you sit and you have conversations with persons and you recognize that they don't believe, and they start to throw doubts at you, and they start to throw negativity at you, just feel free to just walk away. And walking away does not mean that you're a punk, or it doesn't mean that you don't believe in yourself. It's just that you know what you have, you know what you're chasing after, and you don't have to prove it to anyone. Just say to them, it's okay. I understand that you don't see the vision, and that's okay. And end the conversation. Don't have any more conversation with them, and just keep moving. You don't have to dislike them or stop speaking to them and all that stuff. You don't need to get, to that extent. You just know now that this is just someone that you cannot share that vision with because they don't see it. And I look for like-minded people. So one of the other things that I did was I watched videos. I looked up persons, people who were, who did it before, and how they did it. People who didn't have money. I had achieved scholarships. I found out about other scholarships. I found out about other interesting ways in how I could raise money. So if you're working on a project, maybe you want to travel or do something special before COVID. Maybe you had plans to, do the Europe tour or something, or go to Paris, or maybe to build a home, or even to just have your own apartment, have your car, and maybe just something so simple as purchasing a laptop. You might have had a dream or a vision or a goal or something to chasing after, and it doesn't seem as though it can happen. And every time you attempt to try it, maybe you're building your business, and every time you go, you're looking to get funding for it. Nobody believes in the vision that you have. People are asking for a business plan, but you don't have, and you don't know how to write one. It could be so many things that you're juggling because everybody's going through something differently. What I want you to do is to quiet all the noise and narrow your focus on whatever it is that you are working towards. Look for people who struggled through it as well and became successful. Look for those types of persons, whether it's via YouTube, you can Google them, or if you are able to Google them, start asking questions, start reading books so you can learn more and find out what they did, so that what they did that helped them to become who they are today by not taking no for an answer. And once you do that research, once you find out those things, trust me, nobody can ever say no to you. Because when they say no to you, you smile and walk away, because you know that when they say those words, it's not no, it's next opportunity. So they say no, next. Next. It's not that person you're looking for. You see, it's not about the no, because the no's are going to lead you to the yeses. So you have to have them so you can reach to the yeses. Because if you just get yes, 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 when you get when you're actually working towards it, everything is yes, yes, yes. There's no challenge, there's no way for you to grow, there's no way for you to develop, because everything went seamless, everything went smooth and sailing. That doesn't help you in any form. So you need to have those no's. So those no's help you. They build character, they build tenacity, they build strength. Those are the reasons why we need to have people in our lives who would tell us no. So when they say no, smile. They will think you're crazy. They don't understand what's happening, but they're telling you no. It's like a light bulb going off for you, because it is an opportunity for you to figure out how to get the job done. It's not an opportunity for you to wallow or become sad and to feel down and everything. And don't get me wrong, you will become frustrated, you will become annoyed, things will happen, emotions would flood you, because you're a human and you're an emotional being, so you're going to feel something. But in feeling that, be very sure to know, let's revisit the vision, let's revisit the goals, let's revisit the dream. Remember why you started, and once you remember why you started, there's no one who can stop you. So I just wanted to stop by today, just quickly, to share with you, how not to take a no for an answer. And remember, how not to take a no is to always keep going, because a no does not mean no, but it means next opportunity, next person, next step. It doesn't mean no. Okay, so I just want to stop by and share that with you. Thank you so much for joining me today and watching on our channel. And do tune in for next week and the other days to come and click on our videos. Bye. See you guys.